Afternoon, folks. I don't know what I'm gonna say now. Anyway, I'll just be myself. Alright, my name is Cruse. I own a septic installation and service company. I was just giving, I guess, kind of a little introduction of myself and our business and pretty much what we do. I'm gonna start a YouTube channel of pretty much, you know, our work, what we do. So kind of just bear with me here. This is the first video, so I'll try to make it not as intense or as confusing as I try to make things. So I guess a little bit about myself. I've been doing septic work on my own since 2018. It is now 2021, so basic math there. I've actually worked for someone before, prior to that, and I just picked up little things here and there, but I really didn't know anything about it until I got on my own and looking to getting the license, and just went to class, and that was it. That was pretty much it. In North Carolina, I'm licensed in North Carolina, so everything you see is pretty much going to be pretty much really Central North Carolina based work. We're out of Cabarrus County, North Carolina, so it's going to be kind of hard to compare and answer a lot of questions that are outside of the state. Generally, a lot of other contractors around the area pretty much generally do the same thing. It's not as complicated as some may seem. I mean, there is a good bit of science behind a septic system, but it's not as, like I say, it's really straightforward. I mean, literally, water goes downhill and some other things, but and let's just give a pretty much introduction to my things here that I have, and we'll pretty much just go from there. By the way, I do film with a GoPro Hero 9. So this is my chest mount here, and that's pretty much where I'll be grabbing that footage from. So you probably won't be able to see me as much unless I take it off and, you know, face it to myself. But other than that, it's all pretty much just going to be what's out in front of me and what we're doing. So, but every site will try to pretty much give a gist, rundown of how and what we're doing. Every site is going to be different, so nothing can be compared to the last. They can have the same setup, but it will still theoretically be different. So let's just give you a little introductory. So let's go for it. And again, don't beat me up. This is first video, so I'm trying to get my camera shyness out right now and just pretty much talk. I mean, that's all there is to it. All right, this here's my service truck. Yeah, she's a little dirty, but you know, I try to keep it clean. I at least try to wash it once a week, but sometimes I just haven't got to it here in the past few weeks. We've been busy sun up, sun down almost every day. So this is my truck, this is my company. We are certified through NCOW CICB, North Carolina's On-Site Wastewater Certification Board. This is really, in short, what that is. My wife, she is licensed to do septic inspections. That is not a inspector for the county. That is a point of sale inspector. Like if you want to sell your house or you're buying a home with a septic system, we can pretty much come out and check the system literally from the tank out to the drain lines, to the end of the drain field, and pretty much write a report of what's all there at that time and really the condition. It doesn't guarantee functionability. It doesn't guarantee how long the system will last. It doesn't tell you how long the system will last. It doesn't tell you when the thing will fail, or if something is failing and it's obvious and apparent, it will be notated on the inspection, so you can pretty much you will have knowledge of it, and yourself being the buyer or even the seller will know that something will have to be repaired or replaced, and it is on a legal document. So if anything were to arise, say a lawsuit, we will be involved in that, but at the same time, that legal documentation will pretty much cover our bases and tell the judge or whoever that, hey, we done the report accurate and the way it is designed to be written out. So it's there's, I mean, you think it's a septic system, it's wastewater, oh, it's somebody's, you know, waste. It's not, you know, nobody's going to sue over that. Well, you'll be surprised how many lawsuits there are out there. And if something goes wrong, the homeowner, most homeowners pretty much go back to the last person who touched it. So again, that's why there are licenses out there. That's why there are certain tests involved for certain types of septic, or, you know, just wastewater in general, installation license. So not any Joe Blow can just go out and inspect a system or even install a system without any legal documentation via permit or, you know, licensure. So there's some pretty big consequences behind that stuff. They don't play around when it comes to wastewater. So again, all right, back on this. Let's see, everything, I'll probably just like randomly spit out stuff as I go along, because that's pretty much what we do. That's what I do. I just go along, go with the flow. This is my service truck. I have, I mean, shovels, rakes, picks, extra fluids for stuff. I mean, it's just a basic service truck. I mean, all my tools and wrenches and all. And in the back, it is a very big, you know, big storage room in the back here. Cooler for drinks for me and my employee. Laser grade rod. I use a Johnson grade rod. I have actually modified it because it is a battery operated laser grade rod or rotator, and I have actually set up, let me put this back on here, and I have it set up where it is solar powered. So it has, I kind of just threw this together, by the way, and it's been like this for like a year, and it works. So let me set this out here, and I'll probably make a separate video of, you know, pretty much how to shoot grade and all that stuff, how to shoot grade and explain what contour is and all that. That'll come later, but now it's just introductory. All right, so I got that all set up. So it's essentially just literally just a rotating laser. Plug it up, turn it on, spins around, and the receiver on the grade stick pretty much just picks it up when I'm level. It's all solar powered. I mean, it's got a 6-volt battery and a solar panel. Keeps the battery charged, because every time I got on a job site and this thing died, because it originally took 4 AA batteries. When it died, I was nowhere near a store, so it was kind of challenging, because I was like, maybe we get some rechargeable batteries to put in it. So we bought some rechargeable batteries. That lasted for like a month, and then it turned into a haggle, because I would either forget to charge some, or I could have sworn they were charged and they were dead. So I would still end up having to go to the store. So I was like, okay, I got to do something different. So I got on Amazon and got looking around, and pretty much that's what I came up with. That's what I came up with. So just, it works. It really does. But on cloudy days and the battery is low, like sometimes we get spurts of, we don't do installs for like a week and a half or so, and that sucks. It really does, because that's less cash flow for us, and bills don't stop. So today was pretty much a rain day, because it rained yesterday and I got rained out, so I couldn't do any work. So tomorrow it will probably be our first install video. So today I'm going to try to go ahead and pretty much just show you the rigmarole of everything, and you know, that way you ain't got to ask questions like, oh, okay, oh, well, what all you got in your truck, you know? So I'd like to pretty much start basic and work my way from there. And those little white totes there, they're just fittings, extra fittings. Same thing up there. That white box there is an inverter, because it has a power outlet on the back of the truck here, so I can plug up, you know, and run an effluent pump for final testing. I'll get it all into that later. That's pretty much it back here. I mean, spare tire for a trailer. That's really it. So yeah, these tongs, J-hooks, you see them used on, you know, tow trucks and stuff like that, but these I'll probably have to get one and show you, but you can do some research on it. T&J panel. Okay, yeah, sorry, I had to take the phone call. My phone rings non-stop. Okay, these here are septic end caps, infiltrator, quick for, standard end caps. So, and that's we'll get into, jeez. Again, I'll get into that stuff here later. Alright. Yeah. And on the passenger side of the truck, back here, there's the outlets I was talking about. Twist lock and just normal 110. They're both 110 outlet. This truck has a PTO air compressor. So, hose reel's here. This big reel is really for like running a jackhammer or something heavy. Small attachments here for the little 3/8 hose and a 1/2-inch hose that I have coiled in the back up there. And over the wheel on the passenger side is all my 3-inch fittings. Couplers, 90s, I mean your elbows, and glue and primer. I kind of had to throw something together to make this, because carrying two at the same time is a pain in the butt sometimes. And these get refilled, that's why they look messy. So yeah, I buy gallons of primer and glue. The type of glue that I use is a rain or shine. It's pretty much a water resistive type of glue, so that way if I get into a repair and there's water still in the pipe or something, and I still have, you know, obviously I still have to prime it, and the glue will still adhere to the fitting, even though it has a little bit of moisture on it from, you know, just water being there. Then over here is all my pretty much hand tools, screws, tape measure, and I'm actually missing my main tape measure. There it is. Put that back. I like having tools back where they belong, because it's not like there's nothing like getting on a job site and you're going to look for something and it's not there. So yeah, this is a I mean, just a regular old Harbor Freight tape measure. I mean, does its job. So I got extra floats for pump tanks, some pipe strap. That's trash. Throw that away. And all my power tools. I mainly use Cobalt, but I got some DeWalt stuff: impact, drill, sawzall. There's a flashlight back there. 100-foot tape measure. And that's pretty much it for this compartment. Down here I got some irrigation covers for your low pressure type systems that require an inspection port out in the field. Here is this green locator wire that goes on plumbing pipe. That way you can locate, they can locate pipes and all without having to either dig them up or not even just know where they're at. So that's pretty much my truck there. It is a 2002 F550 with the 7.3 liter diesel. Is a stick shift transmission. And I know it's a little messy in here, but that's pretty much it. We got rain suits and safety vests behind the seats, our gloves, more safety vests, hard hats for both of us, and yeah, that's pretty much it in here. We do use business radios. They are on the UHF business band, which is connected to the Carolina Connect radio system, and we pay monthly for that service. We've purchased the radios and we just pay monthly for using the service. Say I'm down here in Concord and I have my guy or somebody up in Greensboro, and I can talk to him, you know, via radio tower. So it's like a repeater system. If you know anything about radios, you know how that works. So essentially this radio here, right here, talks through a tower, and then that tower literally just takes it and transmits it to a higher power watt, and you know, sends it to another tower that's within reach, and then it, you know, shoots down to the radio. So it's kind of hard to explain, but essentially I mean, think about it. It's like a cell phone. I mean, it connects to a tower, and obviously you're connected to the other person. So if the radios don't touch tower, it won't get out, and that's pretty much it. I mean, you don't get to the other person because it has to hit the tower very clearly before it gets to the other person. All right, this here is our road tractor. Well, truck tractor, however you want to call it. I just call it a road tractor. It is a 2007 Western Star 4900. It's just regular old truck. I do have winches on both of my trucks, one on the service truck and one on the road tractor. I put the one on here because every time I went somewhere, again, this thing would get stuck in wet grass, and the trailer that I had at the time, I've sold it now, it was a old equipment trailer. It was heavy. It was pretty heavy, and it would sink, and I would it would get stuck. The truck and the trailer, the old trailer, would get stuck prior to me having a machine. So I was like, all right, I gotta do something different. So I put a winch on it, and I really have only used it like twice, and it's been on there for like a year and a half. So I do have a hitch plate welded on here, so I can pull my small Hudson trailer with. We'll go up there and check it out in a minute. So we do, now that I thought about it, we do have we rent our equipment, like skid steers, mini X's, like things like that. The trucks and trailers we do own. So if you see me with different types of machinery, you know, obviously it's rented. We're still trying to work on that to get us a machine to own, because renting is great, but at the same time, it's, you know, there's nothing like having your own piece of equipment. It's great that we have our own trailers too, so you know, that's not like I gotta go every day and be like, hey man, can I borrow your trailer? And he's like, no, it's tied up. You know, that's not really ethical. But yeah, as you can see here, this is all stacked up. This is all stacked up for another job. But these are the chambers I use. Like I said, they're Infiltrator Quick 4s. You will more than likely see this on 98% of my jobs. I will do others. I have done pipe and gravel, old conventional, yeah, conventional pipe and gravel systems. It's just, they're not, let's put it this way. I follow the permit. If it says 25% reduction, or if it says 400 foot of accepted, that means chambers. So it's rare, but you do still see the low pros in the counties south of us uses low pro. I do work in that county. It's not, low pros are really great, they are, I like them, but it's just they don't get a reduction. So reduction means, all right, let's start from scratch. The conventional septic systems, conventional is pipe and gravel. You know, dig a trench, lay your 12 inches of stone, and you have a 4-inch corrugated pipe in the center of it. That's a conventional trench. Now that does not get a reduction. So let's say you have a 480 gallon per day home or dwelling, and well, you'll have to have pretty much 480 feet or give or take, depending on the soil rate. You will have to have at least 480 feet or so of gravel trench. So let's take that 480 feet and pretty much subtract 25% of it. You got 360. So 360 feet of chamber is equivalent to 480 foot of pipe and gravel. Now that is give or take, I think that's 24-inch trench width. I think these are 36-inch trench width. So there's your, you know, you're using more square footage in a trench than you are on the lot. I mean, it's not oh gosh, I said that backwards. I said that way backwards. It's still, you're still utilizing pretty much the same area, but you're using yeah, you're using less square footage of trench line in a perked approved area versus, you know, using an entire, like say 3/4 acre for septic system, and you still have to have another 3/4 acre of that of repair. That way, if that initial system fails, you have a oh Lord, you have a repair area to put that in for another full length of drain field. Listen, I know I'm all over the place, but it'll all come to you once I get an install video in and I can start explaining things better. But I'm trying to, just bear with me. I'm trying to first video, so I'm trying to get that, you know, camera fright out of play. So this here is actually for a job we've got to do tomorrow. So I use 3-inch pipe. I see a lot of guys use 4-inch pipe on their drain fields, and I've seen some use that green, I think it's SDR 35 pipe. I think that's what it is, but it's a green sewer pipe. I've seen some use a thin wall, is what those hooks are for. It is a type of septic material. In North Carolina, they get a 50% reduction. The reductions, there's my phone. I gotta take this. It's another 24, 60, 80. So it's math. Again, I can't do it all in my head at one time. Actually, let me add it up here real fast. Essentially, I have 160 feet of pump line. So, and then I got a little small 1.5 inch for when like the inlet pipe or something is clogged up. I can just pretty much shove it into the inlet pipe and suck out the little, you know, whatever's clogged up in there. I mean, a few videos you'll see where I'm talking about with that, because sometimes it could be a pain in the butt. So alrighty, let's go up here to my big trailer, and we'll talk about it for a little bit. Drain waste pipe as well. Well, here it's pretty much required to have a, well, not required, but it's practical to have a Schedule 40, any Schedule 40 pipe. Minimum size is 3-inch when connecting laterals of each drain line together. Pump line, I use 2-inch pipe unless I'm getting over. This is way more than just, this is more than one job right here. So if you get over, think about friction loss. If you're a plumber out there, I know you are, or see even some septic installers, you know what friction loss is. Friction loss is pretty much you're trying to take a lot of force of water and push it through a straw. Well, it takes a lot of force to do that. So you think about it, it's oh gosh, I think it's 23, yeah, 20, the pump has to be 23 gallons, at least 23 gallons per minute. That'll give you your scour velocity. I can't remember now. Okay, I probably said that wrong too. See, without looking at the books, man, I can't, without looking at the books, I can't, you know, I can't just pop things off. I have to be like, I have to have a scenario in front of me to pretty much explain exactly, or not exactly, but really explain how and why things are the way they are. So, but again, I use 2-inch pipe. Anything over, like say from here to the shed up there, that's really 300 or so feet. Well, you can still use a 2-inch pipe here, but you'll have to have a bigger pump to get your water flow up there at the end of the pipe. So that's why I'm saying friction loss. So the smaller the pipe, the more friction there is, and then the bigger pump you would have to get that same gallons per minute slash flow up to and have at the end of the pipe on your load. Via, say if you're pumping to a pressure manifold. Pressure manifolds are, you got a pump line coming in and it has a 4-inch orifice in it with taps. They call them taps. It's either 3/4 taps, 1-inch tap, 1/2-inch tap. It doesn't matter. Either way, they're equivalent to the lines, and each tap has their own set of gallons per minute flow. So your pump has to have that minimum of 23 gallons per minute in or up there. Just giving examples here. Don't quote me. You have to have at least 23 gallons per minute at the head of at the start of the manifold, and have it equally flow every single tap in that box equally. That way no problems arise, and it's, you know, you're equal slash parallel flowing multiple length trenches at the same time with the pump, single pump. So less friction load, upgrade to a 3-inch pipe. Obviously that costs more because 2-inch pressure is already, anything plastic now, pipe, chambers, anything, it's hard to get now. Everybody knows how times are when they're building now, even lumber's through the roof. It's insane. But either way, not going down that road. So that's pretty much it on that. We also pump out septic tanks. This is my rig that I use to pump septic tanks with. We started this in August of 2020. So obviously, yeah, been installing since January of 2018. Well, 2019. So I've been installing more the longer I've been pumping. Pumping's pretty straightforward. I know you see pump trucks all over, everywhere. And don't get me wrong, trucks are great. Pump trucks are great. I wish I had one. I really do. I'm actually in the process of wanting to build one, but I gotta get the revenue up so we can purchase something to start building. But this is my rig. I built it. I built it from scratch, and with the things that I have laying around. I like to tinker. So this here is a nominal 1,000-gallon tank. It really and truly holds, if you fill it full of water, I can only get like 980 or so in it. But if a septic tank is full of sludge, meaning over 50% level, over 50% level sludge, I can pretty much fit the entire tank. I can pump it all the way down to the bottom of both chambers. But when it comes to water,
I figured out the science behind it. Sludge actually compresses inside of this tank, so I can hold more sludge than I can water. Water, you can't compress a liquid. So if it's 5 inches of water in the bottom of this, and you put I guess I was trying to run with that and I couldn't do it. Yeah, if you fill this thing halfway up with water and you get the rest of it sludge, well, there's still going to be maybe like a foot or two of stuff in the septic tank. So it's going to make it look like, you know, I didn't do my job because I couldn't get it all out. Well, I did get it all out, but there's more water than sludge content, and it's kind of hard to, you know, sometimes it's kind of hard to explain that to people. It's like, hey, I know my tank's 1,000 gallon, but the science behind me pumping, I know how my equipment works, and I know my capabilities of my system. So, but I haven't been, unless the septic tank is full all the way up to the top. I can get into that later on another video. But if the septic tank is full all the way up to the top, I'm automatically gonna have like a foot of water in the bottom of it, because obviously the septic tanks are rated or designed and poured to the outlet level of the tank, meaning it's 1,000 gallons from the bottom of the outlet to the bottom. So if the septic tank is full all the way up to the top, well, that airspace that was technically supposed to have been there isn't there. It's compromised by, you know, water or failing drain field, you know, obviously, and not pumping it for like 30 years. That's obviously over 1,000 gallons. So yeah, I would either have to say, hey, you know, I can get out what I can today, or I can, you know, you can take that and use it and go with it, or I can go to the treatment plant, dump it, and come back and suck the rest of it out. Some of them say, yeah, go dump it, I can afford it. Some of them, and you know, others say, nah, sorry, I'll just do what you can today, and if I have any more problems, I'll call me back. I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. So I'll get some pumping videos too. Ain't no big deal on that. My tank, I do have a 4-inch suction port. 4-inch suction port. I have a 3-inch suction port on the side there, and a discharge, 3-inch discharge. I want to upgrade that to a 4-inch, but I just hadn't done it yet. The advantages over really 3 and 4-inch on the suction side is, again, friction loss. The bigger the pipe, the less friction loss you have, but also it's heavier. So the more line set that I have out with 4-inch, the more my pump has to work to pull it all up in there, and also the less time it takes too, because it'll clean, you know, pumper's perspective, burping the line, you know, it'll suck the suction line empty quicker with the 4-inch line than it does a 3-inch line at, say, 80 foot. So it's I don't want to say it's common sense, but yes, it's common sense. But you know, it's all just however, you know, everybody does things different. So this pump here is a hydraulic driven vacuum pump. It is a Jurup model R150. It is an oldie goldie. She's still working though. I'm actually working up buying up a newer model style vane pump, because when this one quits, I'm going to be dead in the water. And there are rebuild kits for it. I just haven't got around to doing that yet. I might do that. So but actually, yeah, that's rebuilding this thing is probably going to be cheaper, a lot, yeah, really, like a third cheaper than buying a new one. So, and the engine that powers everything is a 4BT Cummins. It is cooled by a Ford old 80s model F250 radiator with electric fan that runs all the time. Oh yeah, it runs all the time. I don't have it wired to where it runs when the engine gets hot. I just have it running all the time, just because, you know, just because. I just recently done a service on it, so I need to put an hour meter on it so I can at least keep up with how long, you know, how long the oil's been in there. because some days, some weeks and months, this thing can run almost every day, all day, and then for maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks to a month after that, it's, you know, just sitting here. So that's my frequency of pumping. Pumping is, I mean, it's not really our primary, that's not our primary, you know, job function or, you know, business function. Installing and repairing and inspections is our primary cash flow when it comes to, you know, looking at the revenue of the business. Pumping pretty much just gets us by when it's raining, or in the winter time when nothing dries for a month and I can't install in wet conditions. That's a state rule. I can do it, but I'm not going to, because the inspector will fail the installation and then I'm stuck. So yeah, that engine drives hydraulic pump. This is a bypass valve to pretty much turn the load on and off. All it does is open that valve. It just, you know, pushes all the pressure out into the top of the tank. It doesn't, and stopping the motor. I can make a little quick video on that, but that's pretty much it on our little pumping rig here. It's we have, trying to remember how many feet of line do I have on here. I know these are 20-foot. These are 20-foot sections. These 3-inch greens, 20, 40, 60. There's another one. There's actually another 2 under there. Yeah, and 25. These blue sections are 4-inch. That's 25 foot each. So there's 50 foot plus. Okay, now we're up here at my equipment mover. It's a standard bumper pull Hudson equipment trailer. Hudson's pretty common around my area down here, because obviously they're built down here in Indian Trail. They're a pretty good trailer. I love them. So Kaufman's not bad. Not rapping anybody, but I'm not picking favorites here. But to me personally, my experience is Hudson. You know, Hudson's it for me. I mean, they're easy to get along with. So is all the other trailer manufacturers, but Hudson has just been my go-to. It is a tandem 6,000 pound capacity per axle, so it's a 12,000 axle rating. I do have a 14 ply tire on it, which pretty much brings the tire weight rating up to 17,000 and some change. So I never have a machine on here over 12,000 pound. So I use Caterpillar, Caterpillar 3 or 5. This is what's currently on here right now. Those machines, they're great. I also use a Deere 50G. I've also used from Sunbelt Timer 2, the Bobcat E45s and the E50, and those really are the only machines that I've really used. Anything smaller than that, it's not. For example, a Bobcat E32. I started out renting an E32 for what I do in digging tank holes in unknown soil, meaning I can go down 4 foot. Well, actually, I can go down 3 foot and hit rock. Either it can be that, oh gosh, that slate, you know, it breaks off in large chunks, that slate rock, or that blue slate rock that it's like a decomposed saprolite. That's what I'm looking for, saprolite. That's to me, that's like a soft rock when it comes to digging in it. Those smaller machines, literally less than 9,000 pound machines, do not like that at all. And some of them actually don't like the 36-inch bucket, because that's really all I use is the 36-inch bucket when it comes to digging a tank hole or even the trenches. I have gotten a smaller bucket before, but it's for your specialty trenching, like the T&J panel, what I was talking about a little bit ago. or even sometimes the gravel trenches, or even just digging a French drain around the septic systems to protect it from lateral water. So that's pretty much it. I mean, standard ramp trailer. This trailer's been pretty good to me. I just put those tires on. I got another stack of chambers for a job we're actually gonna do tomorrow. So like I said, I'm pretty stocked up on chambers. I never had this much in one time. It shows how much I've grown. Yeah, this is the rock here that I was talking about. It like breaks off in chunks. I can't remember what that's called. I really can't. Not right off. I'll think about it after I get it all done. But yeah, this rock here, this machine pretty much just it breaks it, but at the same time it still has a little bit of an issue depending how deeply I need to dig into the rock. So, and all right, you can obviously see how I chain my machinery down. And this one's kind of slipped through there. 4 points of contact. See, one over there, one here, one in the front on the blade, and one on the other side straight across from that one, and one on the attachment. So that's 4 points of contact plus the attachment. The machine is really less than 12,000 pounds, so I can't remember the rules, but I just know from, you know, pretty much muscle memory, hey, 4 binders, 4 points, and the attachment. That's really it. I mean, if the trooper, if highway patrol or motor carrier, you know, decides to pull me over and do me an inspection, hey, I'm good to go. I got more than what I need. So I used to ran the single chain through this loop over there and then hook it on the rubber rail of the trailer, and then use the single binder on the front, and also the same thing on the rear with the single chain from the rubber rail to the eye, tie down eye, and then looped around over there with a single binder. And I know that's probably plenty, but I still look at it as if I get into an accident or something and the rear chain breaks and the machine's gone forward. I mean, that's all there is to it. And same thing with the, I guess with, I wouldn't be going to reverse that fast, but you know, you know what I'm saying. Vice versa, you know, shift load rear, brakes the front, and then the thing's gone back. So, I mean, I'm sure there is a science behind this, but at the same time, I just know I got more binders, more multi-points of contact. It's not a single point, so I don't know, I just feel like it's stronger. And I know it is. So that's it in a nutshell. This over here is an old, well, this building here is going to be our office. We got to finish it. Got to finish putting sheetrock in it and finish the carpet. Probably not gonna be able to see it, but this is an old pressure manifold that I have replaced. And like I was saying earlier, with the taps, see the little pipe in the middle? That's the tap, and then 3-inch pipe out to, you know, your appliance. In this case, chambers, or, you know, gravel, however you want to do it. It's an equal flow. It's an equal flow setup is what it is. Inside of it here, this is the old school infiltrator. I don't know if you guys been around for a while, you know what those look like. So yeah, that's a manifold box. What I was talking about pumps up to it, and then it distributes out equally to each line. So yeah, that's pretty much me. It's us. So we do have one employee, I being the owner, and a single employee that's on payroll also. So that's really it. Me and the wife, we own the company. It's a 50/50 LLC. So that's pretty much it. I'll create some more videos and of some setups, and I don't know, the next video I may even talk about, you know, the septic system, the septic tanks themselves, starting from scratch. So literally from you know, from the house pipe to the septic tank to the drain field, and just pretty much just talk about it. There isn't, I do know there's not a lot of guys out there that I know. I mean, I know there's some, and I've seen a lot of pictures, but I don't know if there's really any personnel out there that makes a full, like, you know, YouTube series channel that they video record all of their installations and or repairs, you know, owner discrepancy of, you know, of how they want to do that. But it's starting to rain here. So yeah, it's pretty much me. Fix my hat. There we go. I can see myself on the screen. So yeah, that's me. It's what I like to do. It's what I do day in, day out. Wastewater systems.